In realms long forgotten, there are tales of the Forest Kingdom, a place of honour and chivalry, known to some as the Land of the Purple Dragon, but known to all as Cormyr.
Hi, I'm Tilda, and I'm playing Hiram, a half-orc paladin.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Catcher Donahue, human bard.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Badger, a forest gnome monk.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Balthazar, a Warforged Cloak of Azuth.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm playing Slate, a changeling druid.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing Zombo, who is a halfling rogue/warlock.
And my name is Dan. I shall be the dungeon master on this adventure. Good evening, everybody. I have missed you all.
Hi, Dan.
Hello.
We have
Hello.
missed
Hiya.
you, Dan.
Hi.
Hello.
It's been a while.
It has been. It's been a very long time. The years have passed. The seasons have changed, but we are back for another episode of Cormyr Echoes of War. This is session 20. Last time we saw you lot and the Warhounds. The Warhounds were getting up to no good.
We were painting Arabelle red.
Well, some of you at least, yes. But
Let's say, speak for yourself.
but unfortunately, not all adventures dwell in downtime. So, shall we jump back in and see where what's in store for the Warhounds after the downtime?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. In which case, after a short time away from the adventures of the Warhounds, we return to the city of Arabelle to find them rested, recharged, and raring to go. The civil war that rages across the south of Cormyr continues unabated, as more settlements, towns, and cities openly declare allegiance to Raedra rather than for King Ezered. Brief scuffles between the Raedrans and the Loyalists have morphed into sprawling skirmishes or violent battles, as news of Ezered's unusually bloody determination to see the rebellion stamped out reaches rebel ears, who know there will be no mercy offered to them. Worryingly, with no news from Magnus via sending, the Warhounds find the news of the war comes mainly from hearsay and rumour. Knowing the true goal of the two combatants is control of Iolum's diadem, the Warhounds can only hope more information on its whereabouts appears soon.
Yeah, we've been very good at spending downtime and chilling, and not very good at finding out what we're going to do next.
Mm.
True.
True.
In a dark, plain room, a figure sits with legs crossed, eyes closed, in peaceful meditation. Light fills the room as a door creaks open, and uneven footsteps enter the room. The meditating figure, looks up, recognizing the new entrant, and rushes over to him. She catches the figure as he falls in, and she looks him up and down. And as she heaves the figure up, she looks him in the eyes and says, "Ezered! What happened to you, Ezered?" And the Githzerai groans and grunts as he lifts a hand up and pushes his mate away from him as he stands up to full height. It is done, he says. The weapon, my dear, it works. It actually works. And Azrad's mate looks at him with a look of confusion. What do you mean? What do you mean it works? How do you know? What have you done, Azrad? What have you done? And the Githzerai looks back to her with a flash across his eyes as he says, I used it on them. On all of them. They will bother us no more. And he brings a hand up to wipe away the tear from his mate's cheek. In a slightly more upbeat locale, who is the first to awaken?
Never
Me.
catch her.
Where are we waking up?
Technically, Balthazar always.
Yep.
I don't sleep so good.
Okay. In which case, Balthazar, as you kind of, like your eyes glow a little bit brighter, as you kind of stand up to attention, look
Make
around.
the Windows start sign.
Yes. You
No, you don't because of copyright.
Okay.
you kind of look around and like you can feel like the vestiges of the dream you were having just kind of, they're almost kind of drifting away, just slightly out of reach. But as you look around, you notice that there's some more books on the table. There's the table looks a bit more filled out. There's like an inkwell with a quill in it, and there's curtains on the window. And your room just seems to be a bit more filled out than it was when you switched off last night.
Oh, neat.
He's making memories.
And as you, one piece of information from your dream does linger in your mind, and you're able to snatch it before it kind of evaporates. And that is a family name that is near and dear to you. What is the name?
What do you mean the family name? Do you mean like
Just a family name that means a lot to you.
I will think on it.
Okay.
I don't have one right now. I might go on a halfling generator name thing online.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. So in which case, Balthazar, as you kind of mull over this word, and like it's almost like your brain's chewing on it, as you know, savoring it and pondering where it came from or what it means.
Sure.
You step out into the little kind of area between the corridor, the little circular area where all the doors to your respective rooms lead out. And as you kind of stand, in effect, scratching your chin, who is the next person to come out?
She usually wakes up pretty early, but no, actually, I'm happy for anyone else to come out.
Anton, who do you think comes out next?
I would actually say Zumbo.
Okay. And what state do? Tell you what. I'm actually gonna retcon that. We're gonna have Zumbo and Katya off the table. Who, apart from Katya and Zumbo, who comes out next?
All right, Hiram then.
Okay, Hiram. And Hiram, is Emily's staying in your room, right? Is she coming out with you?
No, Emily's probably already out and about.
Okay, up to mischief. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Hiram, you find Balthazar just kind of in the corridor with his head tilted, and it looks like he's deep in thought, but yeah.
Morning, Balthazar. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm good. How are you, Hiram?
I mean, unfortunately awake.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't sleep so well, so. But my room's getting furnished, which is nice.
That is nice. Oh, how was your trip to a library? Apart from the confusion with the gentleman.
Oh, I actually think I figured it out.
Did you?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
did
sorry.
You tell me about it?
Yeah, nothing about Shar and all the war and all that. No, but I think I figured out who my god is.
That's
Yeah.
great news.
I think so.
Who is it?
I think it may be Azuth. Like, it makes sense if I think about it. Like, I used to study magic. Was a former war wizard. Well, I am a war wizard, I guess. So the study of magic and all its elements, like, that would be something I'd be interested in.
That
So
is really good news. I'm congratulations, I suppose.
yeah, thanks. How are you doing, anyways?
Well, I'm doing much better now. That's really good news. I would say we should celebrate, but seeing how you can't eat and drink, I'm not sure what we can. Is there anything that you would want to do just for fun?
I'm not sure. I'm happy to join. Maybe you guys can eat and drink. You can just describe it to me. That's cool as well.
I feel like it wouldn't be the same.
Because it gets.
Well, still, I'm happy for you.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, as you say that, pretty much simultaneously, Badger and Slate, your doors open. As you kind of head out into the area, and you can see, yeah, here I am, Balthazar, having a chat. Yeah, no.
So Slate comes out as Chiron in a very bad mood. A very hungover related bad mood. With a bunch of papers in his hand and sort of writing a device and just muttering like, I just don't know, can't do red hair anymore, can't do. And now I can't even go to the places I want to go to.
Right,
Morning.
Someone needs some coffee.
Have you had your morning beer yet? I guess probably not. Go get your
No.
morning beer. You'll feel better.
Yes.
Yeah, and morning, Badger.
Hi.
Hi, Badger.
Okay, so as the four of you, I mean, you know, it's a fool's errand to wait for Katya to wake herself up. So as the four of you head to the kind of eating area, you're kind of surprised that you don't see Zumbo there. And as you kind of take a seat, from across the way, you hear "Good morning" from Mitrofa. It dawns upon you. I mean, you've been here for like over a week now, and it's just dawned on you that Mitrofa just seems to be wearing the same thing, the same outfit every single day, and you can only assume that his wardrobe is nothing but this kind of baby blue waistcoat. The baby blue waistcoat, the pastel pink shirt, and the sort of like light lime green, mint green trousers that he's got on. But he just kind of waves at you enthusiastically, and you see some gnomes kind of filter out from dark nooks and crannies, just kind of wandering around with food and drinks for the other patrons that are beginning to rise. As you take a seat, and the gnomes just seem to know exactly what it is that you're after. Surprisingly, you see Katya emerge into the drinking hall.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's a bit
you
early
okay?
for you.
Are you alright?
I believe so. Yes.
Are you not grumpy?
I woke up to the strangest thing. I was woken up early by a book falling on my face. I don't know where the book came from, but it fell on my face.
What do you mean a book? Like just apparated
Well,
inside your room?
No, I mean I was dreaming about using my powers, and having sort of fantasies of things I could do with them, and then suddenly I woke to a book falling on my face. So maybe
Is it drool?
Is it your subconscious telling you that you can't just dream about your powers, you need to study?
What book was it?
It was. She basically holds up a book of song notes and notes that she's taken from the adventure that she's had with you guys so far. maybe it's maybe it's my god telling me that I need to publish our adventures. No, that sounds stupid. But in any case, I woke up earlier than normal, so...
Would you want
Well-
to publish them?
Well, we've had interesting adventures. You know, fighting dragons, shadow creatures.
Committing treason.
Yes, treason, saving your family, Hiram. Like, obviously, the song I have that goes along that. I mean, eventually the Ballad of the Warhounds is going to spread beyond these lands, so why not have a book on it as well?
I mean, that's a good idea.
Will it have pictures?
I can proofread it for you if you want.
Thank you, Balthazar. I would appreciate that. But, you know, it's all part of me becoming a bard. It's all part of the journey I wanted to take. So, eventually, yes, I like to travel around Faerun singing about the adventures we had. Like Deacon of old.
Katya, as you kind of say that, it dawns on you that Zumbo isn't here, and like you're usually the last one to turn up. And like Zumbo's usually one of the ones here first to try and get ahead of the queues for the ale tap. And as the five of you kind of ponder on your halfling compatriots' whereabouts, Zumbo, you thrash and toss and turn as you kind of struggle against your weightlessness, the pressure pushing in on you from all sides, the heat, the stench. You can feel your skin dissolving, your muscles melting, and you know that this pain is not fleeting. And as you struggle to peer in the darkness, swimming about in digestive fluids, you hear a voice rumble through your head. And the phrase repeats over and over as you can feel yourself being digested. And as your world kind of starts to blot out and you start to pass out from the lack of oxygen in the literal belly of the beast, you understand the words to mean.
Your soul is mine, land dweller. Return to the seas, and we shall end this farce once and for all.
And you feel a pressure around your head, and it feels like your skull is being slowly crushed, and then suddenly you feel like you've regained control of your limbs, and you grab at the thing on your head, and as you wrench it away, you sit up with a start, and in your hand is Betty, just kind of limply hanging from your hand, as the two eyes just kind of bulge out and just look at you inquisitively. And as you sit up, you look around, you find yourself in your room, in the World Serpentine. Your leg is over there. Your swords and cutlass are under the pillow. You're fine?
Yeah, they just probably just kind of drop Betty in a hurry and sort of probably fall out of his hammock in an attempt to get away from her.
Okay, so yeah, as you throw Betty, she kind of sticks to the wall, and then you just watch as she starts crawling up you notice there's a spider and a spider's web in the corner, and she just, like a stealthy predator, just kind of and then leaps and just you see the spider web disappear under a mass.
The wall that she's climbing up is completely covered in a large, intricate diagram that Zumbo spent the night before drawing out in charcoal that he borrowed from Michifer. It seems to be of some sort of keep or stronghold, and there's arrows everywhere and crude drawings of all of the Warhounds' faces at various places. And in the centre of this keep he seems to have drawn an apple shape. And he just kind of rubs his eyes blearily as he stares at this ridiculous diagram that he's drawn.
Is it just like the most generic shape of a keep?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Brilliant. In which case, as you as you fall out of the hammock, pick yourself up, put your leg back on, get yourself sorted. As you enter into, you make sure, like, as you exit your room, you can see that you had a glass of water on the side of your bed, and Betty has just kind of flopped into it. So because you can just see a couple of tentacles like hanging over the lip of it, and you think, as that's your chance, you slam the door, and as you like run towards the mess hall, you find the other Warhounds sat at the table. Upsettingly, Betty is in the middle of the table waiting for you, as well as a looming silver dragonborn and a wood elf. And Zumbo, you recognise the female wood elf with the white and green braids through her hair to be Shana. You think, like, she's got something to do. Something to do with Badger. She was a dockhand or something. Like, she was talking about arbours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
But the Dragonborn looks to you and says,
Good morning. Good morning, Master Marofat.
Yeah. Morning. How you doing?
Dragonborn nods, looks to the rest of you.
I trust you all slept well.
Sure.
Yep, no
Yep.
complaint.
As well as can be expected.
Fantastic. Well, today is an auspicious day.
Okay.
Is it?
I have been paying the street urchins of the city of Arabelle a small fee, so they may feed me information in exchange for payment. They seemed very. This place. No wonder that it is such an amazing place to be. The children were extremely grateful and eager to work for me. It was a pittance. They were only being paid, 3 gold per piece of information, but they were overjoyed. They kept on coming me back and telling me all sorts of things. This place is marvelous, I must admit.
We should probably look over that information. This sounds like something me and a few of my friends did back in Sazale.
Yes, well, there is no need. Whilst they have been filtering me at least 40 pieces of information each for the past week or so. It was last night that the information we were seeking came to light.
Sure. What is that info?
He sort of like steps to the end of the table and kind of pushes all of your meals to the edges of the table, like right up by you, and then he rolls a map of Cormyr out. And he says to you,
Do you know much of northern Cormyr?
Maybe not.
The Castle Crag is up that way?
Yes, it is. Well, it would seem that As I understand it, the mountains to the north of Cormyr are known as the Storm Horns. And if you remember correctly, you once described to me a vessel piloted by the Githyanki, the large monstrous ship with 2 hulls that seemed to carry a great many red dragons. You remember that? Yes.
I think we all remember the red dragons.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit hard to forget.
Well, as it turns out, the ship has appeared above the Stormhorn Mountains, and wherever the Githyanki are, you can be sure that mind flayers are also nearby.
Perfect. So we want to go there?
Well,
Absolutely.
we've got to save Renner, haven't we, Balthazar? We did make a promise.
Did we though?
I mean, my geography isn't amazing, but don't the storm horns run all the way from the edge of the Kingswood right up to the Hullock Forest?
That they do. Yes. They do, but the silhouette of the ship floating above the peaks of the mountain are undeniable. It would seem that the Githyanki have been there for some time, it would seem. Whatever it is that's up there, it has interested them greatly. And as I say, anything that interests them interests us all.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, go ahead.
do bear with me a moment. It's just my optimism isn't at an all-time high at the moment. But have we managed to decide to suddenly become dragon slayers? Because last time I recall, I felt like we almost burned. I don't know how we're going to be able to deal with that this time round.
I mean, I would assume it wouldn't be we are not going to just waltz in and try to fight everyone.
I'm somewhat confused as well.
says the Dragonborn. Shana steps in. She's giving you a quick little nod, Badger. I think what my Dragonborn companion is trying to say is that the Githyanki and the Illithids are mortal enemies. It would seem that if you were to perhaps approach the Githyanki, they're clearly here to root out the mind flayers. If you can approach them, perhaps coming to a truce between the two of you, even a temporary truce, to seek out these Illithids. I mean, it can't hurt.
Out of character.
Yes.
Remind me which one is a Githyanki and which one is a Githzerai.
So Azarad is a Githzerai. They're the monks. Githyanki
Yeah.
are the dragon riding space pirates.
Okay, so they're suggesting that we make peace with the people who try to burn down everything around us and kidnap one of our friends. Ish.
Shana kind of gives you a look and yes.
Hang on, she might be onto something here, because if we make a truce, right, they'll let us on their ship, and it'll be much easier to steal it once we're on it.
We're assuming they're here to fight Ithiliads. You know, so far your information that there were Ithiliads came up false. How do we know when they're not just here to cause trouble? How do you know you're not just sending us into the Manacle's den?
Maybe they're sightseeing.
Because if they were up to no good, oh hello BP. If they were up to no good, why would they just be floating above an unpopulated mountain to the north? Why would they not
That
be
is a
blowing holes
very
in
good question,
Arabelle
actually.
or Suzail?
They like the mountains.
That's ever since your little scuffle in the King's Forest. It would seem that the Githyanki have made no attempts to bring any more harm to Cormyr. They have kept themselves to themselves.
Why did they want that war wizard anyways? Do we remember why?
Because she had the information on where the diadem is.
So
I think. Well, that's what we assume.
So both the monarchs and the Githyanki are looking for the diadem.
Maybe the Githyanki just want to stop the mind flayers getting it.
Mind flayers want it too.
I don't know.
Everybody wants it.
We could ask them when we see them.
I mean, I think at this point we can absolutely assume everybody wants it, or if they don't want it now, at one point they would want it.
Badger.
Yes.
Can you speak with Azarad?
I mean, I can try. He's been a bit quiet.
See what he thinks about parlaying with his mortal enemies.
I don't think he'll be for it. I'm confidently going to predict that right now, but I can ask him. Yes.
Okay.
As you kind of say that out loud, the tattoo on your arm fades as Azarad materializes next to you. And like I think it's I'm pretty sure that Varaxis will kind of jump a little bit as this Githzerai ghost appears. And Azarad says,
although it may seem like a daft plan, I think the Dragonborn has some sense of it. If the Githyanki were here on some pillaging or raiding crusade, they would be terrorizing populated areas, places with numerous resources. They would not be floating above the Stormhorn Mountains. I think he has the right of it. They have clearly found something. Badger, if nothing else, this is the first opportunity that has presented itself to recover Renna from their grasp.
Yes, that's true. I just thought, the hunter seemed quite annoyed at us last time, so whether she'll just welcome us back is debatable.
I understand your reluctance, but previously we stood as opposition to the hunter for what she was seeking, that being Renna. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if we were to approach the Githyanki as allies against a common enemy, the plan has merit.
What have we got to offer over a big bunch of red dragons? A gaggle? A horde?
Local knowledge, I suppose?
And we're smaller. We can sneak into places.
Yeah, dragons don't really sneak, do they?
Yeah, our stealth missions haven't been going that well either.
I need to update my pie chart.
Yeah, it's still 100% Badger.
No. I'm sure we got a good one in there somewhere. Somewhere. Yeah.
The Githyanki value martial prowess for one, and the death of Illithids for another. It would seem that you are all blessed with high levels of martial or magical power, and you seek to slay the mind flayers as well.
That he has a point. I mean, we do have a kind of a more personal reason to want them destroyed. We could bring up the weird brain thing.
If you were to inform the Githyanki that you have also come into direct contact with Illithid forces, the mind flayer that emerged from the false Garabrail's brain during the destruction of Warhounds Limited.
Oh, don't you have an Ithiliad head in a box?
The Dragonborn.
Can we borrow it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Can we have that? Because we could then approach them saying, look, we killed an Ithiliad.
I mean,
The Dragonborn looks quite uncomfortable.
well, yes. But, it's been in that box for nearly 2 weeks now, and I have not kept it cool.
Also, I am going to raise this. I don't know how comfortable I'm feeling lying to someone that powerful, especially when it's not particularly needed. We did kill one of them.
Accidentally.
Well, it still counts. I feel.
I mean, on our side, to say that we accidentally killed one, we didn't even go out of our way to try and kill one. We just accidentally killed one.
I mean, just put it out there, Hiram. If you're uncomfortable lying, I'm very comfortable lying to them.
See, you say that, and it doesn't make me feel better at all.
It wasn't meant to make you feel better. It was just to give you options.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we don't have to lie. Like, when we don't have to, I feel like then we shouldn't. When there is no other choice, obviously, I can lie if I have to. I just prefer not to.
I
think
can.
everyone at the table turns to look
Yeah.
at you.
I lied before. I lied very well. Once.
When?
You can't even lie
Don't you
about
remember
lying.
being with the-
Tarkalon, Vraxus says, like he's umming and ahhing. If you require the head of the mind flayer, I am more than happy to give it to you. But perhaps I will first source out a bag of holding, and as long as we tie the bag up very tight, the smell shouldn't get out too badly.
It may make a good offering to them if we bring them the head of an Ithiliad. As decayed as it may be.
Okay, Azarad, do you think we need an offering? Or should we just say, like, hey, we are aware this is happening, we would like to murderize them too?
Azrad thinks about it, like he grimaces when he thinks about what state this mind flayer head must be in. And like, you see him pull a face. Zumbo, it's the same face that you've pulled when you've like sniffed 2-week-old calamari. Like, and it's just been left out on the side kind of thing. Azrad thinks about it and...
If nothing else, they would take great pleasure in seeing the head of a mind flayer detached from the body of the mind flayer.
But hang on a minute, don't they? Ain't they a bit zealous with human populations that have come into contact with these mind flayer things? Do we want to let them know that we've tussled with them? They might think we're, I don't know, infected or something.
If you can show that you've slain one of them, though.
They're not going to cut open our heads to check, are they?
Azrad thinks and...
I can assure you, the Githzerai would not.
Yeah, great.
If they get Yankee, you'll take your chances. But they're more stacked in your favor than not.
Okay, so we go and find the flying ship in the mountains and wave them down and say, hey guys, we want to be part of your crew. That's the plan.
Firaxis nods.
If you agree to this plan, then I'm more than happy to write the job posting to hand to Tarkalon. I will state your name specifically to be the claimants of this job. And then we can use this handy tavern teleporting thing that's going on around here to appear as close to the mountain as possible. I fear that you will not be as close to your goal as you were going to Walloon, but it should shorten the journey considerably.
Yeah, sure. I mean, got nothing else to do, so
I mean,
I'm up for it.
question.
Yes, Hiram.
If we take the job, do we have to straight away go to them? I feel like we could potentially gather some information before we commit to this course.
Shana moles on it. What information were you thinking?
Well, do we 100% know for sure that that's why they are there? I'm just saying that there's a lot of assuming at the moment with this plan. We assume that they are there because of the illithid. We assume they're going to be open to an alliance. Personally, I would feel a bit more comfortable if we could do a bit of recon before we approach them.
Shana looks like she agrees. The only thing we can't be sure of is how long they'll stay there.
Do we have any news from the local population about any illithids or anything that's coming out? Is there anyone we can send a message to and get a response from? Get some, I don't know, inside information? And then Chiron just points to that Griffin Hill, like, there must be something here. Someone, somewhere. No?
Well, the reports that the street urchins came back to Veraxis with were from merchants that had travelled the Knoll Pass. They had arrived at Arabelle and they had arrived at Castle Crag and spoken to some of the purple dragons there, speaking of the great silhouette in the sky. But that area of Cormyr is significantly less populated. There's not all that many people close by to speak to. Castle Crag is obviously it's an obvious choice, but we also can't be 100% convinced of the allegiance of the purple dragons within Castle Crag.
So you know what? I think this is exactly why we have a leader, Badger. What do you think?
It sounds like time is of the essence. If you can find any good intel before we go, that would be brilliant. But we may just have to go and do our best with the information we have.
And, well, to be fair, they're also looking for the diadem, right? So maybe they're further ahead than we are, so if we follow them, they might take us to it. Best one we got.
Yeah, you know, it's not
Fair enough.
exactly on our way. In fact, it's the opposite direction. But I've got loads of friends in Marsember, and I reckon there might be someone there who knows something about this. It's always worth asking around the bars and clubs there.
Wait, you've got a friend in Marsember that knows what's going on in the Eastern Stormhorns.
Well, don't know that for certain, but they know something about everything down there. Just got a good feeling about Marsember.
Just as an out of character, will Catcher remember Marsember being mentioned in the tavern? I'm assuming that's where the bobbing apple was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can imagine
yes.
Catcher's giving Zumbo that look of just like, really? She doesn't say anything because she's her and Zumbo are sort of found an equal footing, but she looks at him just like,
Just kind of like shrugs guiltily, just like worth a try.
Shana's not in the know of anything about what you're talking about because she's a good girl who doesn't drink. But she turns to look to you, Badger, and says, given the delicate diplomatic nature of this mission, I will also be coming with you. In the same way that the Elemental Arbor proved to be the delegation for Ilsevel and Raedra on that fateful day, you may not be completely confident with our prowess as mediators, but I intend to do a much better job than we did last time.
That would be wonderful to have you along with us, Shana.
are you okay having us in your head rent free?
What do you? And as she says that, you hear like a voice as he walks past her. Just say no. Scarabrel walks past with a flagon and a plate of vegetables.
It's 100% less dog this time.
Shana,
I like drawing the chat.
Shana gives you a look as Draw makes a noise. Yes, so Viraxis kind of stands to full height and shall I go ahead and pen this job board offer for you all?
Yes, please, Viraxis.
Very good.
Before you go for Axis,
Yes.
a couple of magic words for you in future when looking for information in the streets.
Aha.
Payment on confirmation. Just remember those words. It will make the information you receive better.
He looks at you confused. They told me that all payment had to be in advance.
Payment on confirmation or not. That's you'll sort the wheat from the chaff that way. Trust me.
There are so many peculiar rules for this area of the world. It baffles me. Very well. Thankfully, it didn't cost too much. Only a few hundred gold. But, don't worry. Whilst the coffers are beginning to run dry, I can still afford to pay you a suitable amount for your time.
Created some young nobles.
And he looks to you and there's a look to say, no, it's only a few gold. And he wanders off. Is there any? Okay, so with that in mind, Shana kind of stands, bows to you all, makes her kind of farewells, unless anyone wants to grab her before she goes. Okay. In which case, yeah, she heads off, grabs a seat with Garabrail. Badger, as you kind of peer over, you see kind of Garabrail look up a little bit surprised as Shana sits opposite him, and you watch his eyes follow her hand as she reaches across the table, picks up a steamed carrot from his plate, and she just starts eating it. And there's a part of you that thinks, oh, she's going to get stabbed. But you see Garabrail just smile at her.
Is it how you flirt in Cormyr?
No one's flirting. What are you talking about? That's not flirting. No one's flirting with Shana.
Looks like flirting, Badger.
Stop it.
That looks like flirting.
No one's flirting.
Okay.
Sean and Garabrail sitting
Cling, cling, cling.
Badger just starts rocking backward and forward with her hands over her ears, going, nope, no one's flirting. No one's flirting.
Okay, I'm sorry, I take it back.
Okay.
Also, I feel like Balthazar has some good news to share.
Yeah, I got some information from the library. So that was good. I learned a bit about the Shaurans and the Illithids, and yeah, that was good.
Great.
That's
Awesome,
it.
buddy.
Not
Very
what I meant,
proud of
okay?
you.
Oh, wait, no.
Yes.
Yeah. I figured it out. I got it. I think I know who it is. It's Zeus. Zeus is my god.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Zeus is the deity of the study of arcane magic. So kind of works on the Mystra, and yeah, I mean, they make sense. I was a war wizard, so that was what I
lovely.
did. So I think, yeah, that's a good news.
Congratulations, Balthazar.
Yeah.
Do you feel the connection? Is it just a?
I think if I practice and pray enough, I'll feel it. But I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, it's really great news.
Does anybody want my copy of not Balthazar, me?
Bahamut and you.
Bahamut and me? Do you want it?
No,
I'm good.
I'm good,
Want it?
thank you. I know enough about my deity, but thank you.
Bahamut, anyone? No? Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it, I guess. What is it? I need some more paper, to be fair. I've just run out of all the...
No,
None of these seem to work.
He's going to be devastated that the Silver Dragon Paladin of Bahamut wasn't considered for the book about the Hummet. It's going to be absolutely heartbroken.
Wouldn't he definitely have read?
Yeah, to be
all
fair, he's
the
already got a
volumes
signed
of
first
Bahamut and
edition.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Signed first edition. Just a giant dragon claw on it.
Enjoy this book about me.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he also have like canaries that follow around? So this big claw mark and then just a canary feather shoved in it.
Little bird feet. 7 sets of bird feet. Okay. Sorry, go on.
At this table, like, there's just loads. I think by the end of this, Chiron has been just focused intensely on drawing out new kind of looks. And it's like, creative, but like a real stunted idea of creativity. It's basically just Rufus that looks ever so slightly different. And then after everyone's like, no, just trying their best to kind of actually work out a good new guy. I can't do Rufus anymore. I can't do. Oh, it's all been ruined. Why did they have to come back into the? Ugh.
Come on, why can't you do Rufus?
Oh, why can't he do Rufus anymore?
So
This one can take a punch. I mean, you went down like a sack of bricks, but
But the great thing is, who hit him like a sack of bricks? Oh, that's right, Ameline. Ameline RL.
What do you mean?
Wait, you punch yourself in the face?
No. The real Ameline. Ameline's real.
Let's
Ameline is real?
Let's not go on about it. Yes, there's another Ameline, and yes, they're doing exactly the kind of thing that everyone would want to do. They're becoming the priestess of Selune and being.
She's also got a
Oh
killer
my
right
God, you
hook.
have been using the
Yeah.
looks of a priest of Selune?
she didn't learn that right hook in the Temple of Selune, let me tell you.
So
We-
how does that relate to Rufus?
Well. So, this is before I even really knew much about what I could do in terms of changing. To be fair, I never thought I'd see them again. I didn't even know Ameline, but not a particularly great person, to be fair. But the whole point is she's taken my life, she's taken everything that I had, and now I have nothing left in that sort of realm. And then maybe Rufus is around as well, so it's all ruined. Anyway, now you need to find me some new people.
Slate, I'll help you design a new person if you like.
Thank you.
Why don't you just do Magnus?
Well, could do that.
I'm also enjoying how Zumbo's just kind of glossing over the fact that Ameline wasn't the only one to hit Rufus in the face on that fateful night.
Yeah. That's why he's so impressed. She took 2 punches.
Yeah. Zumbo, how are you feeling about the fact that Reeve, a blue dragon who seemingly saw you die, has now seen you not dead?
So what happened after Reeve clocked?
I can only assume.
Was it a full-on? Oh, it was. We didn't have like a full-on bar fight then.
Well, there was only like 8 people, you included. Like
That's more than enough.
With Catcher on the bar, just strumming away as the fight's going on. Saturday night's alright for fighting.
I can only imagine you were all thrown in the drunk tank. Reeve was kept in a separate cell to you. Irritatingly, she was let out first because she was a blue dragon and she was able to convince the purple dragons that there was just a big misunderstanding. But the last thing you remember that half-orc bosun doing was just kind of looking at you and giving you the...
Yeah, I think he's quite. He feels good about it because he feels like he's got. As far as he was concerned, his ship was destroyed. So he now knows exactly where it is. That it's waiting for him. And the fact that she's gonna try and stop him is just making it all the more enticing. So he's up for it.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, as you finish off your drinks, have your foods, kind of busy yourself just kind of waiting. A gnome approaches your table and, excuse me, she says. I've been sent over from the job centre. There is a waiting job description for you to pick up from Mr. Tarkalot.
Well, that was quick.
If you can either follow me now, or if you make your way up on your own time, either or.
Oh, give us a second. I need to go grab Emily if you guys want to start moving. And Hirami just like dashes towards behind the bar that Emily's probably hiding.
Drinking beer.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, when you get to the bar, you find Emily. So she's actually just kind of round the side, surprisingly, sat on a stool in front of the bar. And in front of her, there are a countless number of like taster glasses.
No.
And like that, you can see that they've all got like the dregs of various drinks in them. And opposite her is Mitrofer going, now as you can see, this one has a bit of a more well-rounded, earthy taste with a strong after punch. And Emily's just like, And you see her just chug down another ale, like a thimble, like a thimble's worth of ale. And,
I try to walk up behind her as quietly as possible.
yes. Well, actually, don't roll normal because I don't think you'd have your armor on right now.
Okay. 18.
Oh! Okay. Yeah, Emily does not know you're coming.
Okay. So I'm going to be as quiet as possible. Wait until I'm right behind her, looking down, and then just whisper, "This better not be what I think it is."
Emily screams. Like you see her shoot up, she bangs her knee on the bottom of the bar. She like the chair tips over. A shot glass goes flying up in the air, and Mitrofer goes, "Oh, it looks like she's had too much." And he points a finger out, catches the shot glass before it smashes, and then lowers it onto the bar. And he looks to you and, she said that she recently had her 21st birthday not too long ago, but it seems that she's still quite a lightweight.
Mitrofer, look at her. 21. Other way around. She's 12.
Well, this
She's
is a problem.
half-orc. She's a half-orc. Look at her. She's tiny.
Oh, no. I thought she was just an ill-colored dwarf. Oh, this is terrible. And like Emily's on the floor, like holding her knee. She gets up and she looks to you, and you can see she's visibly swaying. And then she looks to you kind of triumphantly. I'm drunk. She says.
I can see that. I'm gonna pick her up, put her under my arm. It's like, can I have a coffee to go? Make it as bitter as possible.
Well, she goes, I'm not going to drink the coffee.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
you are
gonna
going
be-
to drink the
I'm
coffee.
going to be drunk. And what Mitrofer kind of stands there real and like he's gone beet red, right? Like he's bright red, like with embarrassment and shame, and he just and he looks around and he pulls a wand out of his pocket and he boom, like zaps, like points it at Emily. You see her, there's a zap and a flash. Emily goes goes rigid in your arm, and then she slumps, just completely limp.
Can I ask what you have just done to my squire?
I have taken responsibility and sorted this problem.
How did you solve the problem, please?
So
Specifics.
your young squire starts wriggling, and then you hear, No, what have you done? And she looks up. Why am I not drunk anymore? What did you do? And Mitrofer just kind of blows on the end of his wand and just a quick little dispel poison. Just sorts her right out. She'll just need a really big wee later.
We are about to go on a oh, never mind. Okay, you need to go to the bathroom before we leave. Okay? After that, there are no breaks.
Okay, so yeah, she's squirming in your arm, and she just looks very, very upset that she gotten drunk for the first time, and then She literally had the poison cured. So, right. Yeah, are you following the breathy gnome to Tarkalon's tower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, as you ascend and that eggy smell gets stronger and stronger, you find yourselves at the top. You hear a come from Badger. And you hear,
Good morning.
and in your head, good morning.
I'll say in not demonic. What is it? Abyssal.
Infernal, yes. So, in front of him on the table is a fresh, the ink is still wet. You can see this kind of job contract, which, reading over the specifics of the contract, it says that you are to head to the shadow of the ship, the Githyanki ship that's currently floating above the Stormhorn Mountains, make contact with the Githyanki and negotiate some mutual mind flayer murdering truce. You know, scratch your mutual back scratching and so on and so forth. With the expectation that they'll be able to help you. They'll be able to direct you to the mind flayers in exchange for maybe murdering some mind flayers.
Sweet.
Okay.
Contract. Sign it, I guess.
If everything is in order, please. As you can see, it would seem that Varaxis was particularly excited by this one. In so much that rather than his normal fare, a fare of 500 platinum. Hang on. Wait. 500 platinums, 5,000 gold.
I think it was
This
500.
time, so he was normally doing 6,000 because it was 1,000 each. Sorry. Good golly. He seems particularly interested by this job. He is offering 750 platinum for this job.
Nice.
But he said he was having to be careful because the coffers were running quite low.
This man needs to stop.
He's the kind of guy who'd win the lottery and just blow it all in a week.
Like,
It's like Bruce's millions up in this joint.
my question is, how was he ever rich when he spends money like this?
I mean, he's probably just inherited it, and he's like, "Whoa!"
I feel super bad for him because clearly he wants to do good things with his money, and he's just not going to have any in a week or so.
I mean, we say this, but imagine if seems like a pittance to you.
He's the Jeffrey Bezos of like Faerun.
How much does he have at home?
He might be Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Yeah,
Given
this is
that-
just his sofa money, probably.
Given that you will be operating within the borders of Cormyr, the gold that is given to you is automatically converted into your local currency, lions and crowns and whatnot. As an aside, the Varaxis does not pay me in gold or platinum. In fact, he pays me in astral diamonds.
God.
And we just convert them, as you.
My goodness.
And judging by the aura being given off by these astral diamonds, they appear to come from a multitude of realms. So wherever
But it's a bit like Bitcoin. I think it's
Yes.
yeah.
wherever Varaxis hails from, whatever organization he is a part of, it would seem that they have responsibilities across the multiverse.
So when he says, coffers are running dry, what does that actually mean? Is that just a phrase he's heard somewhere?
No, I believe that his personal funds are in fact running quite low. It sounds like he only has a few handfuls of astral diamonds remaining.
Well, this better work out then.
Now, if the contract is to your liking, please sign as you have before. And once again, like the inkwell with that deep red, thick ink, and a bony quill materialize in front of you, and he gestures to you all. As you sign your names, you notice him kind of like his eyes flashing, like every so often you just see him gently lick his lips in anticipation.
Great.
When Chiron signs in Druidic as Chiron rather than as Slate. There's not just a line this time. Slate's very much in Chiron mode today.
Okay. In which case, as the last of you signs, Tarkalon makes a pleased noise, and then just the inkwell and bone quill vanish. The contract rolls up, seals off, and kind of erupts into flames. And if you have a word with one of the gnomes, they will direct you to the exit. Have fun.
Cool. So, yeah.
Can we get the gnome from before to direct us to the exit? Because I'm obsessed with them. As
you get down to the bottom of Tarkalon Tower, you see this. So this basically the gnome itself. She's quite unlike the other gnomes. This one, she's quite round. She looks hearty, you know. She's got a very kind of low hanging fringe. That's this kind of like mousy brown color with like little pigtails poking out like little pom pigtails sticking out the side. And as she looks up to you from she smiles, which pushes her little rosy cheeks right up to her eyes, and she says, "Is everything okay up there? Have you all accepted the job?"
Have, yes.
Sure.
Marvelous. Are you looking to pick anything up from your rooms first, or shall I take you to the exit?
Hey, the exit. It's good.
Yeah, I'm all ready to go.
Marvelous. Well, if you follow me, then. And she kind of potters off in front of you.
I think you're going to kill Julia.
I love her so much. I need to know her name. Badger asks her name.
Well, so every time you go to ask her name, some busy patrons just go walk past you.
So Badger's just going to get. But you must tell me.
And as you, yes,
Dan,
yes.
can we name her Momo?
Momo.
Yes.
In which case, as you get to you go down the seemingly random corridors, you find yourselves. This door is bell-shaped. It's pink with floral patterns across it, and like a little circular porthole with darkness behind it. And the gnome turns around and, "This is your door," she says, and she grabs the ring pull handle, twists it, pushes it in. The door swings open. She gestures to you. "Have a good trip," she says.
But before we go, as Badger kind of heads off, Chiron wants to just kind of grab lightly Badger by the shoulder. Badger, are you... I mean, obviously we'll try and get Renner back, but are you feeling okay about this all?
Fine, thank you, Slate. Everything's fine. I'm the leader. Let's go. Great day.
Oh dear.
Badger, at this point, you have the opportunity to it's all a bit quiet, because you're in a secluded kind of corridor now. You have actually got a chance to ask him.
I hustle everybody through the door. Okay, the leader, on you go. I'll follow right behind you. The leader. Right. Thank you so much. What is your name?
And the gnome looks at you a bit confused, and she... No one's ever asked me my name. And she kind of puffs her chest out. She looks really happy. My name is... And the door slams shut as a drunk Goliath busters past her, and the door, boom, slams in your face.
I mean,
And as you appear, sort of like, and look around, you realise that you're stood in a small, like another small tavern, like in okay, so yeah, you're stood in the inn. You can see that it's a 2-story building. You can see sunlight streaming in through the windows behind you. So unlike in Walloon, where you appeared on the outside of the tavern, you're actually inside this one.
Much better.
But yeah, so you're looking around. You can see kind of to the rooms leading off on the upstairs kind of area. It's kind of open. The drinking area is open. What catches your notice is that in the middle of the room is dominated by one large dining room table that's half the height that it normally is, that a dining table normally would be. You notice that the chairs are half the height that they normally would be. Badger, as you kind of look like seats that you would find yourself very, very comfortable to sit in. Looking at Katya, she looks like a giant stood next to some of these chairs. It's positively hilarious that when you see Balthazar just kind of just hunched over because he can't really stand up because he'll probably hit the ceiling of the second story, and he doesn't really know what he's doing. And there's a door off to the right, and you can see steam, kind of a gentle steam wafting out, and as you see the steam, you notice that it carries a very kind of floral fragrance, like bath oils. Just big steamy bath steam wafting from under the door. And across from you, just looking at you kind of perplexed from the half-sized bar, is a halfling. Morning, he says. We haven't opened yet, but you're in, so would you be wanting normal seats or big seats?
big seat, please.
Several big seats and at least 2 little seats. Normal
Normal
seats.
seats.
I'll have a
yeah.
little seat. A normal
Right.
seat. Yeah, sorry, normal.
Right then, he says, and he turns round, sort of like leans backward, and here, Aline, bring out some of the big seats, he shouts, and you hear, okay, and like you hear there's some scraping, some banging, and eventually you see this halfling like pushing a full-size seat.
Is it 4 halflings just carrying one chair?
Yes, yeah, it's a small group of halflings pushing a normal-sized chair.
Yeah.
And yeah, the halfling bartender walks over to you, and like as he gets up close, you can see, you know, this halfling has got quite a few years on him. The lines on the sides of his eyes indicate you know, this halfling clearly has had a life of smiling and laughing. There's just kind of a warm glow to him, like his little kind of round button nose, slightly larger than normal ears, and you know, his attire just kind of gives off this aura of kind of welcome homeliness. And he yeah, excuse me, my name is Innkeeper Anton.
Okay.
You've had all this time, man.
Typed it. In the chat.
My name's Innkeeper Talbot. Pleased to meet you, he says. Are you some of them teleporting folk?
Yes, that describes us perfectly.
Right. Do you know where you are?
Not a clue.
Right, he says. And he
Nobody tells us nothing.
he kind of as more chairs, like enough chairs for you all. And like they bring out a chair for Chiron, Katya, Hiram. But like you see them standing around like these three. It looks like a mum halfling and sort of like two daughter halflings, and they're like stood there and they're just looking at Balthazar, like blinking, wondering what on earth they're gonna put him on. And like one of the daughters just points at one of the tables, and like the three ladies just kind of just kind of nod. So they pull a table out for you to sit on, Balthazar.
Well, it's fine. I don't really. I just stand anyways.
Okay. And so in which case, as they're doing that, Innkeeper Talbot has kind of weaved his way between you, and he unlocks the door to his tavern, and he pushes the door open and says, sort of like gestures to the scenery around, and what you see is like you can see a trade road off in the distance. And this tavern is almost just kind of it's a sort of like a roadsidey kind of tavern, like inn, sorry. But the area immediately around you is kind of dominated by fields of wheat and veg and so on. It's clear that these halflings, looking behind you now, makes sense. It's a halfling inn. They kind of grow all of their own local produce and everything. They look relatively self-sufficient. Just off in the distance, you can make out that there's a town. And this halfling points and says, "You're up there. That's half up. And we're just on the edge of it, on the edge of town." Yeah, he turns to you and so. Have you ever been to Cormyr before?
Cormyr, good sir.
That's what I said.
Yes. Sorry, I misheard it. I heard you say, have you been to Cormyr before? No. Yes, we're Cormyrian. So.
Oh. What are you doing up here then?
Important adventuring business.
Oh. He says, Is it to do with that? He says, and like he points to the left, to the south, and looming over the mountain range behind the tavern, you see this dark silhouette in amongst the clouds.
I'd just come here.
Unrelated adventuring business.
Okay, so Hero says unrelated. What was I about to say?
I was gonna. Karen was gonna say. We actually just came here on a kind of holiday kind of mode to explore the best taverns in Cormyr. So that's actually a new thing. Looks interesting. Do you recommend visiting, or it does look a bit, terrifying, but in a mild.
Looks bloody ominous, doesn't it?
It does, but worth checking out. Have you scoped out the ominous, terrifying cloud?
And the halfling looks to you, and the last time someone said something to you like that, he buggered off down south, didn't he?
Buggered off side, what?
Last time someone around these parts said something that silly, they ended up buggering off down south.
On their own, or was he gently ushered out, or?
No, he went on his own. It was my nephew.
Your
nephew left after saying something stupid. How stupid did it have to be? Did he feel embarrassed, or?
Pretty stupid. He said he wanted to become one of them wizards. I assume you're a wizard, given you teleported here.
Not personally, not, but.
This halfling just kind of is looking you up and down, and there's that clear kind of very rural, probably slightly less educated than most vibe from him, and yeah, he was a bit of a clever clogs, but he's buggered off. He ain't come back, so. But yeah, he fancied himself a bit of adventure. But yeah, if you're bored, and you probably will be around here, maybe you want to go up them mountains. Anyway, all right, enough of all this excitement. grab yourselves a seat. We'll bring you some food over. You had breakfast?
Well, always up for second breakfast.
Ah, that's a spirit, he says, and he claps a fellow halfling on the shoulder. Here, right up into your leg, he says, as he walks off without giving you a chance to answer.
All this time, Balthazar has been daydreaming, and he's like, "Why was I thinking about that name Talbot? I really don't know why." And I just blanked out on the whole conversation.
Oh my god. You could just see the plot flying above your head, completely missing you.
Yes, correct.
So as these halflings kind of push you up to this table, and for you and for Badger and Zumbo, it's actually the most comfortable table you've sat in months. But for everyone else, you're just kind of like at the kids' table. And as they bring out a ludicrous amount of food, we will take a 10-minute break.
Wait.
Hey.
Cool.
Cool.
See you
See
in
you
a
in a bit.
Yeah.
See you in a
In a
bit.
bit.
Hi everyone, Matt here. If you'd like a spot in Zumbo's crew, yeah, scary stuff. All you need to do is like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back, everybody. How are you all
Hi.
doing? Are you all okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Beautiful.
Well.
Beautiful. Well.
Well,
Well.
Right, so when we left the Warhounds, they had arrived at a halfling roadside-ish inn, and you've kind of sat down for food and the like. In the 10 minutes that we've been away, the Warhounds would have discovered that this is Talbot's Beds and Baths. That is the name of the business. It is owned Beds and Baths. It is owned. So the friendly old halfling that's been kind of busying himself around you, making sure that you're suitably well fed and the like, is a halfling by the name of Quobin Talbot. Quobin, spelt Quobin.
Bed and Bath and Beyond, yes.
Woven, what a name.
Quobin Talbot. And he has introduced you as is. You know when you go to like a really kind of rustic, rural kind of B&B, and the B&B hostess, Airbnb, sorry, and the Airbnb hostess insist on introducing you to the family.
Is there like a Bathman and a Quobin?
also have to say, I have not had that experience.
No? Well, you're lucky. Because Quobin has introduced you to Prusica, his wife.
Okay.
His wife at 60 years, he proudly
Aw.
tells you. And yeah, she looks you in, morning, she says. And yeah, like they introduce you to the sons and daughters, and like the Talbot clan is just kind of busying themselves around you, and it's kind of distracting having child-sized adults just kind of rushing around, kind of you as soon as you take the last bit of food off a plate, like the plate boom is gone, and like another plate of food comes up. Zumbo, you feel right at home. This is just how Mama did it. Mama Marifat. And yeah, I mean, Balthazar, you can't really get to the table, but
Balthazar looks around and sort of like appreciates everything. He's like, "Oh, that's really good. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly like they used to do it at my place. Like I remember this. It's like it all seems very familiar for some reason."
a real sense of homely familiarity. But yeah, you can tell that these halflings take like a great pride in their inn. And sort of like the seats and the furniture is quite plush. You happen to glance, like as you're eating, you happen to glance over because you've noticed they've not actually spoken money with you. They just keep on giving you plates of food, and like if nothing else, Zumbo is just plowing through. But you realize there's this point where like I think the most perceptive is actually now Balthazar. Balthazar, you happen to see the price board for all this food, and it dawns on this is actually, oh, that's a lot of money that they're eating their way through right now. Oh no! Like you watch a silver's worth of sausage just disappear down Zombo's throat, without even taking a pause.
Another silver down Drool's throat.
Yeah. Well, Drool ends up. You watch as a leg turns up, and you look at the menu, and like it's like 40 silver for a flank of meat. That's 4 gold, and Drool just kind of starts working his way to the bone. But yeah, the Talbots are keeping you well fed. And they talk to you about just kind of general countryside stories of all these interesting folk passing through. They kind of tell you about. There is one as you're enjoying your meal, you hear a loud kind of bink, and when you turn to look, you can see that one of the windows has got a crack on it. And Quobin kind of looks. Quobin and Prusika kind of look round, and you see Quobin goes bright red here. Bloody hooligans! He shouts and kind of picks up a broom and kind of rushes over to the door, kicks the door open, starts like waving a broom around. Piss off, you bloody part! And he starts shouting and screaming into the fields. And Prusika she's just shaking her head as she looks to you, and she says, "Here, you lot are adventurers. Could you not sort them out?"
What's the trouble?
Well, you see, this building used to be a barn, and we cut it in half. So basically we had the Talbot clan, and then there was a clan of right bloody bastards who took the back half. So we're Talbot's beds and baths, and they're Bingle's baths and beds. I'll tell you what, the Bingle clan, they're proper violent thuggish sort they are. They think that everything can be solved with violence. Especially, they got a son. He went off to be an adventurer. He's a right bastard, he is. He's a right old. He just punches everything, and they little shit. They just throw stones at our window. Oh, terrible. I would say you need to smack some manners into him, but no, I think I just encourage him more. And Quobin comes in, just a little bit grumpy and like looking at the crack in the window.
Dad,
Yes,
isn't Badger's mentor with us?
Yes.
I just realised that we haven't discussed her or anything. I'm just imagining she's now sitting in a corner, just like.
Shauna is sat in stunned silence. Everything that's going on, and like one of the you see Badger, you see like Quobin comes in. He's a bit angry, and he just kind of closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, centers himself. And like as he kind of walks over to the group, he's putting on a happy face, and he's stood next to Shana, who's like on this chair, just like on a full-size chair, just at a half-size table, just looking a bit confused because she does. It's clear, Badger, you look, and like there's not that much for the two of you to eat unless you start digging into the special halfling fried meats. And like Shana's just. Looking a bit put off by all the food in front of her, and Quobin stands next to her, looks up to her, and "Here, you always been an elf," he says. And Shana just slowly nods. Yes, I have, Master Halfling. He's like, "Here, that's nice," he says. And he just walks up, "Hey, who wants more fried bread?" he says.
Yeah,
have you got any beans?
Coming.
Some beans. Have you got any beans?
Some beans? Do you want baked beans, or green beans, or fried beans, or runner beans, or raw beans, or
that all sounds
beans,
lovely. Yes.
Black beans?
Just all of them. A selection of beans.
Oh, yes. You're going to be too...
Can we get some extra fried beans? I don't know what they are, but they sound delightful.
Absolutely, yeah. You lot are going to be tooting like a laxative wyvern once we've all been done.
Also, just, I wanted to mention something. This lady here, and I pointed at Emily.
Yes.
She's 12. Please do not give her beer or any alcoholic beverage.
And he looks to you. He looks a bit
All right,
confused.
only
and
cider
all right.
then.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just the alcoholic apple juice. All right.
No.
No problemo. He says. Yeah. This halfling disappears off. And yeah. Prusika kind of looks to you and have you been adventurers long? Wizards, I assume, given that you just appeared.
Well, not all of us are wizards, but how long have we been doing this?
6 months now, isn't it?
I know I'm the one asking.
No, that was Carl
I just
asking.
Oh, you gotta use the hat. If you don't use the hat, it doesn't count. No?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm asking in character. How long have we been doing this?
Oh,
You joined a year after I started, and we have been doing this for. It feels like 3 years. I'm not going to lie.
So it sounds like you've been doing it as long as the bingo boy from round back.
Don't you dare do this, Dan. Don't you dare.
The bingo boy.
No. Don't you dare.
No, Julia, I have to.
Okay.
Priscilla stands there smiling, almost expectantly.
It's funny.
Stroking her chin.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we met a halfling who punches a lot. Can't be him.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What does he look like?
Oh, you know, halfling height, black hair,
Yeah?
talks like this.
Scruffy beard.
Yeah?
But it can't be him.
No, he doesn't sound like him, to be fair, no.
Although he is very violent.
Say, this is the most delightful place we have been to in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like anyone is going to try to color throat or cast a spell.
There's only a giant ship
nice.
flying overhead, though. That's the only issue.
I can ignore that.
Filled with
Like,
dragons.
I reckon it's going to take us some time to
There is enough
infiltrate it.
fried beans.
Yeah.
There is enough fried beans in the world for me to ignore
Yeah,
that.
if we masquerade as halflings and eat enough beans, we'll be fine.
That would be great. I mean, just Balthazar masquerading as a halfling. Just like-
He's a halfling
like-
at heart.
just painting a few halflings on his side of his body and kind of being like, just walk on your elbows.
We just say he's using stilts and sticks. He's like a halfling in the middle. It's like a dreadnought inside.
Well, as you kind of wrap up, like the food just keeps on coming, and Balthazar, like you're crunching the numbers, and like that bill keeps on going up. And
It's okay. Like the Dragonborn's paying for it all, really.
It's on the expenses card.
If this is expensive.
This is true. You hear a firm knock. After about half hour or so, you hear a firm knock at the door to the tavern. And Quobin just kind of, oh, excuse me, he says, and he rushes off and, yeah, well, hang on, he says, and he opens the door. And on the other side of the door is a, where is he? Here he is. Is a relatively broad-shouldered, tall man. He's stooping down to look in through the halfling-sized door, and like the first thing that catches your attention is the somewhat dulled, but still tarnished, but still vivid. Actually, it's tarnished but vivid red dragon scale armor that this man is equipped to, like wearing. You can see he's leaning down and leaning on what appears to be like a two-handed battle axe. The blade of which you notice is a very dark. It's a deep black, almost obsidian in color, and the scars across this man's face insinuate that he has seen quite a lot of rough and tumble in his time. And Quobin, oh, enter, please, enter, he says. The man rolls his eyes. Clearly, he's heard that joke a lot of times. And enter enters the tavern. And he kind of stoops in and like he's crouching as well, and he says, I noticed that your window was cracked, and I was just coming in to see if everything was okay, Master Talbot. And he's laughing. Oh yes, just them bloody bastards round the back, bloody bingles, you know. But Enter kind of stops, like isn't really paying attention to Talbot. He looks to you, and I apologize. I did not know that we had visitors. He stands to his full height as much as he can. Enter of Esperin at your service. It's good to meet you. And he holds a hand out expectantly, like waiting for a name.
We are the Warhounds of Arabelle.
Limited.
Limited. Warhounds Limited of Arabelle. Mercenary company. I am Cashy Donahue, Bard. This is Hiram Silversword, Paladin. Our monk here, Badger Nix Ningle. Captain Zumbo Marifat. You're a Chiron, aren't you? Chiron of the King's Wood, or the King's Forest.
I
and
bow
finally,
very deeply.
and Balthazar, Knight of Azuth.
Sure.
And this human kind of looks to you all and nods, like he's looking, as each of your names are said, he nods to you in acknowledgement. And I can't say I've heard of any of you, but it's I hope you're not.
And Shana of Soundbeholm.
And okay, I haven't heard of her either, but I'm glad that you're all here, he says.
I'll nudge Katya in the side, like, I think you've got to do the Ballad of the Warhounds. I don't know if it's got this far up. You probably should make that book, you know.
Yeah, we'll do the song later once we're back in the tavern. Wait till the crowds are really built up. That's how it spreads. Wait some trade to come in as well.
Ah.
So Enter looks at you and, are you travelling north or south?
Up.
Southeast.
Those are two very different directions.
Southeast and then up a mountain.
Oh, you're here
The mountains are
to the south. Yes, yeah. Oh, so you're here for the for our other visitors.
Do you know much about it? It's a bit intriguing.
Well, they've been here for about just under a week. We managed to make contact with some of them, yes, and they. I'll admit I was a bit confused. I wondered if they were some sort of, and he looks a bit uncomfortable. I wondered if they were some sort of elf. And Shana looks at him, raises her eyebrows, and when she looks away, he just kind of does a motion with his fingers to insinuate pointy ears. Quite tall. Yes. But yeah, they well, kind of rude, but they were just asking if we assume they were some sort of tourists in their big flying ship, just asking about all the lost keeps across the Stormhorns.
Did they mention any specific keeps?
Enter shakes his head. Can't say they did, but they assured us no trouble. They would look for what they're after, and then they'd be gone. And we don't go up into the Stormhorns anymore. It's far too wild with everything that's going on down south, and there's no purple dragons to patrol the routes. So I've just taken it upon myself to make sure that this side of the mountain range is kept safe.
Zumbo will point with the chicken leg he's busy eating at the at Enter's Red Dragon scale armor and say, "Did you trade with them for that, or did you take it from them? If you see what I mean."
He looks down and, oh no, this has been this here. He says, patting his stomach. This has been passed down through my family for generations. Thinking about it, perhaps this might have given off the wrong message, but well, actually, let's retcon that. No, they didn't seem particularly impressed with it, which is not usually the impression that it gives off, you know?
Yeah, they reckon they're a bit partial to those beasties.
Really?
Yeah.
Because these lot, they just appeared, a bit like you did.
Well, as you can see, we're more terrestrial based than your visitors. So,
Well, if you're planning on heading up there, have you got it in mind where you're headed? I mean, are you after the same thing as the and he looks at Shana again. Them.
that is what we hope to discuss.
Brilliant.
So they've only
Yes.
talked about strongholds, old forts. They haven't mentioned anything else. Do you know if they're partial to anything? Big fans of light cheese or juggling?
Enter thinks about it. Not that I know about, but well, all they said was that they were seeking information. They'd stay out of our hair if we stayed out of theirs. That big old flying ship was just hovering over the mountains, moving from here to there to here to there. And a few days ago, they just stopped. The ship stopped. And it's been there ever since. So I'm guessing they found what they were after.
Do you know
So
if there's
would you-
anything?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Do you know if there's anything specific in that area they've stopped around?
He shrugs. If they're lucky, they might stumble across a giant or something. But no, we don't need to go up to the Stormhorns. Very, very difficult to get up and about up there.
Would you be able to lead us up there, seeing as you're clearly local?
He grimaces. Normally I would, because the call of adventure is something that I very much appreciate. But as I say, with everything happening down south, there's no more soldiers to protect us. He kind of thumbs the space behind him, like he gestures to it with the fist, and I'm based up at Half Hap, but where there's usually about 1,000 purple dragons, but they've all pissed off down south. So it's down to people like me to make sure that people like these, good folk like these, are safe. Yes, Em.
This armor, I mean, aside from the red scale, is there any? I mean, what I can see looks like an owl, right? Is there some sort of?
So the suit of armor in particular, it's clearly very old, and it has clearly been handed down. Because either he's found it like this, or it has in fact been handed down through his family. The crest emblazoned on the center is one of a unicorn and tree heraldry.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be Balthazar, realistically, that you recognise the heraldry as that of Esperin. Which was it was a kingdom in the Stonelands, which is the area north of the Stonehorn Mountains, where you are now. It was annexed into Cormyr in the 1100s, so like over 300 years ago.
Are
Basically,
we still in Cormyr at present?
Still in Cormyr. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
we are.
I mean, 300 years ago, you would not, pretty much, because this would be the kingdom of Esperin.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Esperin was annexed into Cormyr off the back of a royal wedding between the Queen Enchara of Esperin and Cormyr's crown prince at the time.
Okay.
So yes, this is just one of the effectively the Northern Territory. Yeah, sorry, does that answer your question now?
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Yeah, he looks to you and I mean they didn't seem like they were causing much trouble, but I suppose you're sort of always looking to stick your necks out. Well, get yourselves into trouble, so I don't know, perhaps you can go up there and have a tea party or something.
Do you know if there's anyone who could act as some sort of guide or, someone who knows the land well, if it's pretty treacherous up there? I'm actually not
If I may
from...
ask, Do we need a guide? I think that should be the first question.
So, I mean, from the short time you spent kind of stood outside looking, the ship, like, we're not talking like the snowy capped peaks of the Stormhorns. The ship's only, like, it's relatively low down on the mountain. Like, you've got a very distinct point that you're heading towards that's overhead, so it's easy to get to. It's just a case of, the slog up a mountain. And I appreciate it won't be very far up the mountain, but still up a mountain. It'll be tough, but you reckon it'll be fine? It's not like, as long as you don't come across any gaping chasms in the mountainside or whatnot.
So it's not for an experienced mountaineer. It could be done by any...
It could be, well, yeah, I mean, the 4 hit point commoners probably won't want to risk it. But tough, hardy adventurers such as yourselves. Enter of Esperin has looked you up and down, and he's not trying to ward you off it, so clearly he's confident that you'll make it up.
Okay.
Just take a tent, he says.
Okay.
But yeah, he turns back to Talbot, and I'll have a word with them Bingle boys. Ever since their older brother went down south, joined one of them mercenary guilds. If they've been playing up, ain't they? He says. And Talbot nods. And Enter looks to you, nods. If you're heading up to the mountain, I wish you well. Just be on the lookout for the old giggle dogs, all right?
The what?
Giggles?
I'm sorry, the what?
And he doesn't respond because he's already kind of ducked out and he's...
Wait, no, I'm sorry, the giggle what?
Talbot turns to you and giggle dogs. They're like
No.
humanoid dogs that giggle.
Oh, that doesn't
Giggle
sound
bastards. Really,
too
they're
scary.
always hungry.
Do you mean gnolls, by any chance?
I don't know what a knoll is, but yeah, we gotta look out for them giggle dogs. He says, giggle dogs.
Hyenas?
How many giggle dogs we talking?
Well, I mean, the giggle dogs have just been spread through Knoll Pass for some time, but yeah, I mean, normally they're kept away by all the purple dragons, but the purple dragons ain't here, so we got the giggle dogs instead. Just you lot look pretty tough, so you could probably deal with them, but yeah, just you'll hear them before you see, you'll probably smell them before you see them too, because they ain't ones for hygiene, but giggling.
Wow, this is getting worse by the minute.
Yeah, I don't know why the giggle dogs like living around Knoll Pass, but yeah, covered in giggle dogs.
Catcher leans over. I think he's talking about gnolls.
Bloody giggle dogs! A few weeks ago, they made off one of my bloody cows, didn't they? That's a
Are you sure?
I just,
It was,
I,
are you sure it was a cow? and not someone unfaithful.
I wish it were one of the bloody bingo boys, he says, like raising his voice in the hopes it will go through the wall.
Tilda, that was a deep Arc 1 cut, wasn't it? That was before we even started privately
That's like-
recording.
Yeah.
That was like
That's
session
episode
7
4.
or something. Good lord.
Noctil's werebear wife is still in Patchy's song list.
I was gonna say that went straight over.
Oh, what were the lyrics
Yeah,
of the song?
I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, I realized as I said it, like maybe we should cut
She's
that
not a
part.
bear, she's
No,
just
no.
unfaithful.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, she's not aware. She's not a werebear. She's just unfaithful.
Oh god, yes.
Your minds all flash back to the point where you are asked by two friendly farmers, Rodnar and Delzin,
That's it.
to look for Rodnar's wife Cassandra, who may or may not have been being unfaithful. They thought she was turning into a werecow. She was actually just having an affair. Yes.
Fortunately.
Oh,
I thought she
okay.
was a werebear.
That was it.
Unfortunately, it was an affair.
Very good.
That's verse 2.
So, is there anything you want to do before you leave Tolwyn's beds and baths?
Bath.
Wanna have a bath?
Somebody's just been loading up his pockets with leftover breakfast, and once his are full, he's probably going to turn to whoever's next to him and slyly start filling up their pockets as well.
Badger
I have
just
not been a
opens
sucker
up
fan.
a pocket
You just
and
fill it-
helps him.
He's just filling like Balthazar's armor cracks with like loads of sausage and like
Yeah.
mashed
Browns.
Slices of toast in between the shoulder blades.
I like the idea
Only thing
that
I'm thinking,
at
if
some-
you're kind of stuffed with sausages, then it's gonna be so easy for the gnolls to find you
That's
by the
true.
smell.
Zumbo's the bait.
I like the idea that like at some point down the line we're kind of just all like a bit tired and then suddenly just put our hands in our pockets and they're like, oh, delicious snacks.
A fried egg.
Perfect.
It's a magic mountain pass.
Oh god, more beans.
Yeah, just beans in the pockets. Badger's got. Yeah.
Okay, so in which case, Talbot offers you the bathrooms for anyone involved. They're all halfling sized. So Hiram, Katya, and Slate, if you're planning on having a bath, it is an uncomfortable event for you. Zumbo, you're led into one of the bathrooms by Prusica, and the bathtub is just there, and it's a nice bathtub, and it's filled up, and you can see like she's poured in some aromatic oils, and there's a there's one of the halfling daughters in the corner slowly playing a harp, just not a tune, just notes on a harp every so often, to give it that kind of spa vibe.
Well, she's just going to stand there and watch us bathe.
Well, and like Prusica's just stood next to you, and off you go then, she says, and waits patiently.
They like to watch. They like to watch.
Yeah, been in these situations before. Not really my cup of tea, if that's all right.
Oh, I can wait outside for you if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay.
I won't be two ticks.
Don't mind Brillienne though. She's here for the ambiance. Gesturing to the halfling daughter. And yeah, Prusica like leaves the room, closes the door, unbeknownst to you, patiently waits on the other side of it,
Okay.
leaving you alone with a tub full of water
And a harping.
and a harping
Halfling.
halfling.
So Zumbo's gonna
Linger.
pull his cutlass out. He's gonna look over at the halfling girl in the corner and just kind of go shh. And he's just gonna use the point of his cutlass to kind of splash water around from the bathtub, like doing it at arm's length, to try not to get any water on him, and just trying to make a sort of splashing sound, and meanwhile making sounds of yeah, great temperature. Perfect, yeah. Just the right amount of bubbles as well. And he's going to finish, once he's sort of done that for an appropriate length of time, he'll put his cutlass away and flick a coin towards the halfling girl in the corner and just kind of give her a. Had a great bath,
Okay,
didn't I?
For the whole event, she's just been sat there watching you, utterly perplexed. Just every so often, just plinking a note at random on her harp. And it's like you flick at the coin, and she just kind of goes, I mean, sure. Drops it down the front of her dress, and he's finished, mother, she says. And the door opens, and Prusica, oh, you've already got dressed, she says, and she ferries you out of the bathtub. Oh, made a bloody mess, didn't you? So as you've all finished your respective baths, and you start to gather your belongings together, who's settling up the tab?
Badger's offered to pay.
Well, I feel like we can all contribute to it. We have all eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all chip in.
All right.
Okay, sure. So who's saying they'll chip in, but is actually not?
Oh, saying they are, I'm not. No, Bother will join.
Is
Yeah,
Zombo's-
Everyone's chipping in.
Yeah, just chipping.
I feel like
Okay.
maybe you start like a kitty for the team. This is the spending money for the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, yeah, Zumbo, you probably have a pang of resentment as you have to pay for the bath, and it's a ludicrously expensive bath. Like a gold. It's a gold for the bath.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's fine. Love baths, me. And he's like speaking way too loudly.
If Zumbo says that close enough to Chiron will probably just smell and go, What kind of bath soap did you use, Zumbo?
It's these essential oils, Slate. That's what it is. Good for the complexion.
I feel like I think you might have got shortchanged, you know.
When drool smells better than you think you might have been shortchanged.
If you're still Chiron, is your beard now a bit more plump and fluffy than it normally is? Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you take a dog to the groomers, they just come out a bit fuzzier.
I think he's also very kind of grumpy still because having just sat in a bath that was not the right size for him, just sitting there and kind of being like, It's come out like not again in the like refreshed mood. He might have a shiny beard, but everything else about him is a bit more grumbly.
Very good, very good. Okay, so the Talbots kind of wave you off as you settle up the bill. It's surprisingly expensive. I'll figure out just how expensive after the fact. And as you all, well, as most of you bend down to get out of this halfling inn, as you're making your way up the path away from the tavern, you can see just in the wheat fields, or just off to your left,
Theresa May running through Northley. Sorry.
no, in the wheat fields just off to the left, there are 3 halflings stood, feet firmly apart in a power stance, arms crossed, black shaggy hair, all of them, even the young one with a handlebar moustache. And they just
Hey.
kind of roll their shoulders. Like, and as you get close to them, one of them says, "Yeah, keep on walking," he says. As you walk past, and one of them turns around and says, "Yeah, you told him, Bricks." He's like, "Yeah, I'll teach them to mess with the Bingle clan," he says.
Do they look comically familiar?
It
As in-
can't be. There's no way. No. I don't recognise them at all. Definitely don't remind me of Bodger, my arch rival from the War Dogs.
No, it's a waste of a spell slot.
So as you leave, Bricks Bingle and his 2 brothers, and
Can I just say,
yes.
no way Emily will not know this though.
What? As you're walking away, yeah, you're absolutely right. Emily is just kind of like looking over her shoulder at the 3 halflings. The youngest one in particular, with his somewhat patchy handlebar moustache, and like she tugs gently on your... Wait, whose hand would she tug on? I think it's going to be Badger at this point. She's going to pull on your hand slightly. Like she's waits until Hiram's not looking and then just kind of gets your attention, Badger. I'm not very good at this, she says. But would you agree that that one was actually quite handsome?
Which one?
All of them. There's something about the bad boy image.
Oh no. Oh, Emily, we're going to have a talk. You're getting to that stage of life, aren't you? They're not worth it, Emily. We'll talk, okay? We'll talk.
She nods. Okay.
The horror I just felt.
Okay.
Don't tell Hiram.
If I could very very quickly,
I feel like Emily's going downhill very fast.
Oh god.
And
Further
just when you're
drinking.
thinking, there's nothing worse that Dan can do than kill her.
I mean, there's also the jokes that she's actually the BBEG, that or her and Aaron Fox are the two contenders. She's just entering that path.
right? This is all planned
Oh
out.
god.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if I could all have it. Okay, so as you get to the like you head south through, like following the path that kind of loops around the fields, and pretty much immediately to the south, you can see that the hills begin, and that will eventually rise up to become the Stormhorns. The ship, you notice, is floating right about here on the map that the audience can't see, but it lies just roughly kind of to the southeast-ish of you. Who's taking points on this expedition?
What's the terrain like?
So the terrain is the further you go, it's hilly. It starts to become a bit rocky. The footing's uneven, but it's not like treacherous. Yes, Julian.
Does taking point mean going in the lead?
Yes.
Badger can do that. She's got good perception.
Yeah.
I think for the survival side, Slate would be, or Chiron would be, walking near Badger, kind of just pointing out little.
Yeah, maybe we're walking together up in the front.
I'll tell you what. Sorry, let's look at this. For this expedition, we'll need a couple of roles actually. First off, who is the guide? Who will have a somewhat easy job considering there's a honking great flying ship in the sky.
The guide is gone.
Yes. Who would be the guide?
Actually, yeah. Get Matt.
Alphazar, probably.
Well, I mean, Zumbo's literally proficient in navigator's tools.
I am,
that's true.
but I'm very non-proficient in intelligence, so balances out.
I mean,
I feel like that wouldn't stop
I
Zumbo.
would make the argument. Balthazar is the tallest, and this ship is up in the sky.
Yeah, but I'm on lookout.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so hang on. If Balthazar's on lookout, I kind of agree. I think Zumbo probably would want to be the guide, right?
He's
Leading
probably
this group.
trying to stay at the front and lead, but the peg leg is probably making it difficult for him to keep up with the nimbler folks.
We need to write to the Cobblestons to get them to send your.
We do, yeah.
On the leg. Who's scouting?
Peter Scout, because I've got decent stats in both Dex and Wiz and Stealth and Survival.
Okay.
Might make sense for me to scout.
And who's the hunter?
Who's it?
Ooh.
Hunting for sausages.
Yeah, what is the hunter in this what's the necessity of the hunter
weirdly
here?
enough, I think last time it was Chiron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just foraging for supplies primarily.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be the case. Chiron would be trying to help out Badger and then just getting distracted and being like, ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that's some pickable mushrooms. These are great for acne on your arms. And everyone's like, acne on the arms? No, never mind.
In which case, anything that you want to do to help out Hiram or
Yeah, I
Catcher.
think I would like to help Balthazar with being a lookout.
Okay. Balthazar. And
I
I
mean,
mean-
I get half proficiency on things, so I guess I can always aid Zumbo with the navigation. While he's obviously not used to navigating on land, Catch would be like, I think what you need to do is...
He's walking along holding his spyglass the wrong way round. Like, stuck in the sky.
well, so actually, yes and no, because you're holding the navigator's glass properly, the one that you got from El Hazir's, and you're just like, why isn't this working? And it's Katya that reminds you that you actually have to look through the wide end, and when you do it, everything's magnified, because for some reason this telescope you got from El Hazir's is backwards. Okay, so if we are, so we have Zumbo and Katya as the guides, we have Badger as the scout, Slate as the hunter, and Balthasar and Hiram as lookouts. If I could have a...
I've already pre-rolled then.
I
jumped the boat.
You are keen. You are too keen. Let's have...
Catcher immediately gives Zumbo a bardic inspiration.
Gives Zumbo a bardic inspiration. Okay. So, Zumbo, in that case, if I could have a... Why won't it let me click? There we are.
Can I aid him to give him advantage?
You can. Okay, so you'll... Okay, tell you what, in which case... Bam.
I imagine you're helping me not fall over while I'm walking with my eye glued.
Yeah. Maybe she'd let you ride on Drool.
Oh, yeah, I can ride Drool, can't I?
Can.
That's amazing. Why have I not done that before?
Right, so Matt, you've got Navigator's tool, so you need to add your proficiency to this. So you need to add +4. But first off, Katya rolls, and then if Katya passes, you get advantage. If she fails, you get disadvantage.
So I can add +2 to this because it's half proficiency, right?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. I have inspiration. I'm going to use it.
Oh,
In which case, if you have inspiration, can I request that?
Because that was just... Nah.
Yeah.
I wasn't having that. There we go, 19.
Okay, perfect.
From
So,
an 1 to a 19.
If I could please have an intelligence roll with proficiency from your navigator's tool with advantage, because Katya has turned your telescope round the right way.
And you
The
get a
wrong way.
D8 if you want as well for the inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, on top.
Alright. Sure. So that's 15, including my proficiency.
Okay.
So I will add a D8 to that, as Katya's
Okay.
been so kind to give me one. Oh, nice. So 23.
23. Okay. In which case, yeah, you, Zumbo, you managed to, like, using the ship as almost like a North Star type deal. You managed to kind of plot a course, the two of you up, and thankfully, you don't come across any unfortunate encounters. So after about 7 hours of travel, which get progressively harder as you go, you find yourselves, so Zumbo and Katya at the front. Who was the scout, sorry? Badger.
Badger?
So Badger's slightly up ahead. Hiram and Balthazar are on lookout. Drool is there, and then Slate, you're just kind of loitering in the back, just kind of keeping an eye out for any berries or fruits to eat. Perhaps a little bit distracted because you keep on finding sausages in your pocket. And yeah, as you're heading up the hill, Is there anything that the two of you... Oh, is there anything the two of you are talking about, Zumbo and Katya, as you head up? Because, like, you found a path that seems to be leading up quite nicely.
Don't think I didn't realise you wanting to go down to Marshemba, Zumbo.
Yeah, not much gets past you, does it, Katya? Yeah, I mean, alright, you got me, but it's worth a try, wasn't it?
It is. I mean, if you want to do it, you need to be a bit more clever about it. If
You reckon I could just ask? I mean, just for a favour?
Of course,
I can't do it without you, I don't reckon.
I mean, you're part of the team now, Zumbo. So, yeah, I think asking will just be fine. You know, they helped me out when I needed them the most. I mean, okay, granted, I didn't do it exactly the right way, but they helped me when I needed them, and I imagine they'll help you too. So, don't be afraid to ask.
Alright, well, yeah, I guess maybe after we've done this job.
Yeah, and if asking fails, we'll just find a way of convincing them to go down that way.
Sounds good.
As the conversation happens, if I could have a perception check from Hiram, Balthazar, and Badger, please.
I think I already did mine, Dan, so I got a 16.
19.
22.
22. Okay,
Also gotta say now that Zumbo said like, oh, you know, after this we can go and check out my personal quest. Now Zumbo is gonna die. This is like saying that you are 5 days away from retirement in an action movie.
Yeah. This is my last case.
Badger and Hiram, because Balthazar, you're kind of a little bit distracted by the two smalls talking to one another. But yeah, Badger, you see a disturbance in a bush up ahead, and Hiram, you kind of notice, you see Badger stop and kind of peer over at something, and then like you know, Zumbo and Katya are talking, but you hear a faint and Badger, as you kind of focus in on the bush, you just about make out the eyes of a large beast as it peers at you through the bushes, and behind it, you realise you just about make out the face of what appears to be an upsettingly large hyena. And
Dan,
yes,
before you do anything else,
yes.
when I hear the giggle, I think Hiram was going to do, he's going to eat and grab a sausage from Balthazar's armor and throw it into the bushes.
Okay, so in which case, yeah, Hiram, as you grab the sausage, you throw it up, and then you hear as the sausage arcs through the air, and an arrow you hear the sound of an arrow being unleashed, and it kind of hits the sausage in midair and impacts into the ground. And as a group of bloodthirsty gnolls reveal themselves, we will call it there.
That's it. They shot my lunch. They're going down.
Is Balthazar canonically covered in sausage? Like, just got a big wrap chain of sausage around his neck and traipsing that around.
I thought they were like in the seams of your armor.
Yeah, I'm imagining like
different
squished
joints.
sausages. Like the knee sausages are just like mush.
Fantastic.
Elsewhere in Suzail, Ursula Boatwright enters her private chambers. Instinctively, she looks over her shoulders as she closes the doors. And knowing that she's alone, she walks to the drapes on the far side and pulls them apart to reveal the hidden alcove that lay behind. In the alcove sits a pedestal. Upon the pedestal sits a crystal ball. As she places her hand atop the crystal orb, she closes her eyes. When she opens them again, her eyes are blazing white.
Your plans proceed unabated,
says the voice into Ursula's head. She flinches at the cold alien tones of the voice in her head. They do, she says. Cormyr will fall, and we will be the new rulers. My lord, she says. Then there is the sound of wet, slimy slaps as her eyes turn back to normal and she closes the drapes.
She's into that.
9. Nem.
She's into that tank duel stuff, I think.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing session 20.
Hey.
Well,
Yes, so I think that completely unrelated scene has nothing to do with anything. But yes, congratulations for making it through. Let's find out if the Gith Yankee are soups friendly, which of course they will be. Why would they not be?
Correct.
Yes, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. I think we're going to cap it out right there.
Sweet.
So, yeah, thank you all. I will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Can I
Good
vote
night.
and guess disadvantage for his next roll for the phrase "that slimy slaps"?
Slammy slaps.
Honestly.
What a lovely noise to end the recording on.
Nope.
bye.
The adventurers must brave the dangers which lurk on the Stormhorns if they are to make contact with the Githyanki. But what are the astral seafaring pirates doing? Will they be receptive to the arrival of the Warhounds? Come back next week to find out. Now we've dipped our toe into the dirty and chrome world of Neo-London, we're back in full swing in Cormyr. You can expect to find more one-shots or non-D&D content in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Next week sees the release of episode 3 of Tavern Between Dimensions, where we have a special 4th guest joining us as we look at more character builds and player and DM advice. If you like what you've seen here, please leave some comments down below and hit the like button, and then catch another episode here. You can subscribe to the channel by clicking here, and you can hit the bell icon for notifications of new uploads. Thank you all for watching, and as always, may the realms endure.